We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll go ahead and come forward and take your seats. Today is the July 13th, 2021 meeting of the Laughlin Town Advisory Board, and I have some notes to read into our minutes. For today's agenda, items may be taken out of order, and the board may combine two or more agenda items for consideration. The board may remove an item from the agenda or delay discussion relating to an item at any time. No action may be taken on any matter not listed on the posted agenda. All planning and zoning matters heard at this meeting are forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners Zoning Commission, BCC, or the Clark County Planning Commission, PC, for final action. Please take a moment and turn off or mute any cell phones or other electronic devices, myself included. All right. And please take all private conversations outside the room. Within 48 hours, advance request, a sign language interpreter, or other reasonable efforts to assist and accommodate persons with physical disabilities may be made available by calling 702-455-3530, TDD at 702-385-7486, or Relay Nevada toll-free at 800-326-6868. Supporting material provided to the board or council members for this meeting may be requested from our secretary, Tammy Harris, at 702-298-0828. Supporting material is or will be also available at Clark County Department of Administrative Services, 500 South Grand Central Parkway, 6th floor, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89155. And some supporting material is or will be available at the Clark County website, which is www.clarkcountynv.gov. Your board here today before you is as follows. Myself, Kathy Oakes, as chair, Kathleen Haas as vice chair. Fred Doughton is not with us today. We have Herm Walker, and we have Pamela Walker, no relation. Our town secretary is Tammy Harris, over here to my left, and she can be contacted at the town manager's office number 702-298-0828. Her email address is Tammy, Tammy, .Harris, HARRIS, at clarkcountynv.gov. Our county liaison that we have here to my left is Mark Moskowitz, and he is also available at the same number, 702-298-0828, and also a private number is 702-455-6173. His email is Mark Moskowitz, MARK, period, MOSKOWITZ at clarkcountynv.gov. So this is our call to order. If I can please have you stand for our invocation led by Pastor Doug Wesley and the Pledge of Allegiance. Pamela.
Howdy. We had quite a meeting last month. It was warm-blooded, and I can tell you that I'm part of the club now. My landlord told me yesterday my rent's going up $100. I don't remember getting a raise of $100 in my job, and I don't know what more I'm getting for this, but you know, it's $100, so I'm part of the club now. And my Social Security kicks in 2 weeks, so I'll have another one. So I'm going up $250. So I see you're enjoying this. So I would like to say that, after the meeting, we had some people jump right on this thing, and it was Michael Naft put together that meeting over at the library, and I know that Mark was part of that. I mean, they jumped right on it. In the 10 years that I've been doing this, that is the fastest I've ever seen a county commissioner or a town liaison really jump on something and go to work. And I know he has more today to talk about it. And there are others too that are involved in this. They asked me not to say anything, but I know there's others too that are concerned and that really want to help things work out for people. Well, I have a Hebrew Jewish invocation I want to share with everybody today. Our God and God of our ancestors, the one who inspires salvation, source of life and power, may you bless and protect the leaders of our nation, of Nevada, of Laughlin, and all those who exercise authority in keeping with our laws. May the Holy One of blessing bring strength to all our work in our community on behalf of those who need our support, strengthening them both in body and in spirit, and rewarding their efforts with success. May those in leadership act in wisdom, have your insight, raise up the fallen, advance justice and mercy, and exercise loving kindness to the downtrodden and fallen. We turn to our leaders for inspiration and hope, direction and guidance. May they lead us in paths of peace, build communal cohesion through both word and deed, and bring about the blessing of peace. May the one who brings peace on high, who causes the rain to fall, and brings life to our community, bring peace, establish safety and prosperity. And let us say, so may it be. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. So I'll go ahead and commence with a roll call. Pamela Walker,
Here.
Herman Walker,
Here.
Fred Doughton is absent, Kathleen Haas,
Here.
and myself, Kathy Oakes. That is 4 members, and we do have a quorum. I'll go ahead and open with public comment. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public about items that are on this agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item. You'll be afforded an opportunity to speak on individual public hearing items at the time they are presented, and if you wish to speak to the board about items within its jurisdiction but not appearing on this agenda, you must wait until the comments by the general public period listed at the end of this agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to our speaker's podium and clearly state your name and address and spell your name for the record. We are recorded, and that makes it easier for Tammy when it comes to transcribing minutes. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of a presentation, this will be done by the chairperson or the board by majority vote. I also wanted to just advise, we have had some inserts for public comment. Some of them want to be heard by Metro and I believe by our fire department if we have a representative. I realize since we don't have any items on our agenda today, I do have to take those and put those at the item number 8, which is comments by the general public, which is the period devoted to comments that are not on this agenda. However, I have been asked that if the representative from Metro and the fire department would please check with Tammy on the minutes so that you, if you can't stay till the end of the meeting, so that you could at least hear the comments. Okay? All right, so then with that, I'll go ahead and open to any public comments that pertain to today's agenda. All right. And since we don't have any items on the agenda, I didn't expect that. Okay. So we'll move forward to item number 3, which is approval of minutes for June 8th of 2021. I just want to apprise the board, and mostly the board's aware, but I want the public to be aware, that in addition to the comments that were heard pertaining to the rental situation in the community, we also were submitted, these are a very large packet of minutes, several written statements that were too long to be read in the public comment. So we have included those in the minutes, and they do go forward as a part of that package. So I just wanted the general public to know that everything that was submitted to this board indeed is a part of it. It didn't just go away, but some of these statements are like 8 pages long, and so there wasn't an opportunity to read that in the time frame allowed. So does anyone have any comments on the minutes as they're submitted?
I'll make
Any
the motion
discussion?
that we approve.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have approval of the minutes, and also I'd like to have an approval of today's agenda to hold, combine, or delete any items.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Firm? Aye, okay. Or motion carries 4-0. Informational items, receive a report and updates from South County Liaison Mark Moskowitz for discussion only. Did they change it to South County now?
It is the South County.
Yuval.
Yes. So,
Okay.
just two quick updates. We have great services coming to actually this government building starting tomorrow, and then every Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month, we'll have Nevada Legal Services will be down here. And it's free walk-in. They will be here from 9 to 1. We have some flyers in the back if you'd like to pick them up, but it's a great service, and please don't feel like you have to come just to those times. They're available any times as well. But we will have someone here in person that you can meet with, sit with, free of charge and everything, and they can go over any legal questions you have. So that's a great service that'll be here, and it'll be the first Wednesday of every month until the end of the year. We'll be having that happen, and we'll probably continue to the next year. The next thing we're going to have is the business license office from the Las Vegas office. We'll have a representative down here as well every first Wednesday of the month, except for this month because of the holiday, but they'll be here tomorrow from 9 to 3. It'll just be across the hall over here, and they'll be available for any questions or anything to help anyone that has any business license questions. And once again, they're only here once every month, but they're also available whenever you need as well. So that's just if you want an in-person interaction, but you can always call them and all that. So the commissioner and myself, we're very passionate bringing a lot more services to the Laughlin community, and we're working to do a lot more things. So these are two that are starting right away, and you'll be seeing a lot more in the future.
Okay, great, because like I said, in 19 years I've sat, well, since 2000 here, we've never had business license services. So that is a milestone, because to my knowledge, maybe there's people here that have been here longer than me, but in 19 years, or since 2000, we've never had those. And the legal services either, I've never known those. I do miss the permitting and specialist and plan review for the building department, so
Okay.
that's a big one. Yes.
Where are we with marriage licenses?
Marriage licenses, where are we with those?
So we do have a part-time worker in our office. They're here, Tammy, correct if I'm wrong, they're here Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, excuse me. So they're at our 8 to 5. So
8 to 5, Thursday
Yep.
and Friday.
Yep. And with all these services, if you have any questions, please call our office. We can either figure out who you need to talk to or let you know when these events are going on.
And so business license, because I need to discuss, so they'll be 9 to 3 tomorrow.
Yes, 9 to 3 tomorrow. They'll be right at the front counter over there, and you can come on, and they are very excited to be down here. They'll have all their equipment they need, so we're hoping we'll get a lot of positive feedback and a lot of things done, so.
Yeah, with my pet center not opening during the pandemic, I think laws have changed, so I
Yes.
probably need an update.
Yes,
on
please,
that.
please. Thank you.
Okay, all right. And let's see. Receive a report from Lieutenant Rogers with Metro Police regarding activity and statistics during the past month and other crime concerns. Where are you?
Good afternoon, Board. Lieutenant Rogers here with Metro. Just want to report our stats for the month of June. June, we had 415 calls for service. Obviously, it's an increase from last year just due to COVID. So we just tracked that at 17.9% increase. As far as traffic citations, we wrote 406 traffic citations here in the Laughlin Township. Made 3 DUI arrests, 5 arrests for domestic violence, and our Laughlin booking Tucker Holding Facility and took 40 prisoners for arrest and process. Just a couple items to note from Metro. We are doing a back-to-school backpack giveaway. We got a bunch of donations from Las Vegas for backpacks. So if there's any kids in the community that might need a backpack, we're going to be giving those away probably the first week before school starts, so probably the second or third. We're getting with the school to see when the best day to do that is, but it'll probably be at the school. But if you know of any kids that don't have a backpack or need school supplies, we'll also have extras here at the station. They can just come by and grab one if they don't make it to the actual event. We just don't have a date and time yet for that. And then with COVID being lifted, we are going to start planning our National Night Out, and we're looking at October 6th at the park. But we don't have that official yet, but that's just kind of a save the date as of right now.
Okay, are you working with Clark County Parks and Rec for all of the different
Yeah.
things that they have?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we just started planning it yesterday.
Okay,
So, all right. Any questions from the board? Mark?
any questions?
No. Okay. Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Lieutenant. And moving forward, receive a report from Clark County Fire Department regarding calls for service during the past month and other fire prevention.
Good afternoon, Board. Trent Jenkins, Battalion Chief, representing County Fire Chief Steinbeck. So for the month of June 2021, we had not too much of an uptick, pretty close, similar to the year before of June, slightly down from last month of May. In the month of June, Station 76 ran a total of 183 calls, and Station 85 ran a total of 96 calls. And that was 279 calls altogether, which is 9 more than the previous year of that month, and just 8 calls more than the month of May. So we pretty much maintained in there. There was a little bit of uptick in May, it looked like, of this year, last month, or of May from the year before, but pretty much about the same from the month or the year before. So that's the total. There wasn't any significant calls in June. There was a couple little minor tech rescue calls, nothing significant to that level. Any questions that I can answer?
Any questions from the board?
Do you have a copy of that report?
I can get you one, yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah, they
I
normally
can,
have one for us.
if it would be best, I can get one sent to Tammy, and then she can distribute that out, if that's okay, or would be the best or easiest.
Yeah, to email it to
For you or so?
Tammy.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
and she'll
work on
include
that.
it with the report. And if you
Okay.
can email it before you come, if you have it prepared.
Okay.
If you just email it, then,
Yeah,
she can disseminate.
they prepare it and so forth and send it to us, so I'll ask them about that and get it sent to Tammy. That would,
Okay,
in the future, hopefully, if they will, previous to this, so.
okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
No
No
problem.
questions? No. All right, thank you,
All
sir.
right.
And let's see, receive a report from Will Smith, Clark County Water Reclamation and District. I don't believe he's here with us today.
There's no report.
There's no report? Okay, all right, so then we'll move forward to receive, I see him in lobby, okay. Receive a report from Jason Bailey with Big Bend Water District regarding the status of our water system. And most everyone, you just got your reports sent to you in the mail. Because I know I have to have those for the health inspector in my restaurant, so I made copies of those. Is there a source where we can go online and download that in case, because I have to post it annually
Are you
in my
talking about
restaurants.
the water quality report?
The water quality
they're
report has to be
online.
posted for the Southern Nevada Health District, and it gets pretty messed up over the course of a year. So I'm just wondering and I forget to keep copies. Is that report on the website?
It is on the website, yeah.
Okay.
And I can send a link out to where
Yeah.
that report is.
Sorry,
So,
I just remembered that. Thank you.
you're good. Jason Bailey with the Big Bend Water District with our monthly report. For the month of June, there were 318 acre feet diverted of water. That's down from this time last year. I looked into that, and it's just less water diverted, less water used. We did last week replace our motor control center in the Casino Drive pump station, which is kind of the computer, the control board that speaks to our SCADA system, which is kind of the brain for the entire operation of our treatment facility. And that's part of our capital improvement to do that. So that's a replacement of the old control center. And just a reminder, with a more efficient system, there's less leaks and things like that. So, but there are no major leaks or issues to report. And per Chair Oaks, your request last week or last month, I brought in some information for the circular outside, some
Okay,
conservation information. So I'll leave that with you. We also, my staff and I were able to meet with Mr. Moskowitz last week, kind of give him a briefing of the Big Bend Water District. So we're excited to work with him and grateful for his desire, I guess, to learn more about the water system down here. With that, so year-to-date total diversions were 1,531, which is a little bit less than we were at this point last year.
Okay.
That's my report. Any questions?
So year-to-date, we're total diversions, 1,531 acre-feet of our 15,000 allocated.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, it's
And then
about
the other
10%.
question, I sat on your board for some time as far as the capital improvements. I know the well went in a couple of years ago and stuff, once we had the boil water notice. Is there any updates that you might be able to give the board just on your capital improvements program? A lot of it, there were some grants that were out there and things like that, and then you guys have been working on the improvements when you took us through the tour of all the, facilities. So if you
Yeah.
could just maybe give us an update.
Sure, I can get a list. I can put a list together for.
Yeah,
for
because it
next
should be
month,
the
but
end, coming to the end of your fiscal year.
We just ended the fiscal year, June
Right,
30th, so, yeah, I can do an update. We did receive earlier this year, we received 1.5 million in grant money, so $1 million of that was from the SRF loan, the State Revolving Fund loan, and 500,000 of that was from the Capital Grants Fund. So that's for system improvement, and that does not go against like our capital improvements. That's grant funding. We continue to look for grant funding opportunities, but I will get a list of all of our capital improvements. When we did the Citizens Advisory Committee in 2017, that was for an increase from 2018 to 2021,
Right.
and then indexed according to CPI after that. So this is the last year of that
Right.
increase, and the next year it will be with CPI.
Okay, and then, yeah, like I said, was there also any funding for our water treatment systems through, COVID relief or anything like that? Any type of infrastructure, is that still, being cooked?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of exactly from COVID relief, but I can ask about that and find out.
Yeah, just wondering if there's anything going forward with
Sure.
the proverbial infrastructure that might pertain to
I'll
it.
look
Since
into
we
that.
approved the rate increase and stuff at that time. So,
Okay,
okay, all right, thank you.
thank you.
Any questions from the board? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, receive a report from Parks and Recreation regarding the status and programs. And I don't believe we have them here today. Do I have a report? I thought I did. Have to glean through here. Okay, these two. No, that's a library. Okay. So the Laughlin July 2021 report from Clark County Parks and Rec is the June 2021. They've had 13 programs going, and their monthly visits are 290. The programs are as followed. On Monday, they have ladder ball, which I'm not sure what that is, from 9 a.m. to 11. Cornhole from 11 a.m. to 1. Wii bowling from 12:30 to 4. And hand and foot canasta, okay, from 1 to 4. I'm not sure what that is. So Tuesday, they have knitting and quilting from 9 a.m. to 11, pinochle from 10 to 2, and Mexican train dominoes from 12 to 4. Wednesday is Stay Fit Senior from 8:30 to 9, bingo from 10:30 to 1, and 5 crowns from 1 to 4. Thursday is mahjong from 10 to 2, bridge from 12:30 to 4, and senior field trips also are going in tandem, I guess, from 8 to 4. Okay, and so do we have any other questions? Or, no? Okay, we can't, there's no one to
Madam
ask.
Chair.
Yes.
I have a question
Yep.
with regard to responsibility for corrections on the sign by the large ramada in the park.
When you say corrections?
Well, it needs to be corrected.
Okay.
It hasn't been tended to. I'm in that park every day.
Uh-huh.
It
your
hasn't been
donkeys.
tended to, at least I know, for the last 5 years.
Okay, and that's the large pagoda?
Well, there's a sign in there that's a directional sign and an advertisement for what's available to people in the park. And it gets no attention whatsoever. None.
So from a maintenance standpoint, is it broken or is debris
No, it
blown
isn't
up?
broken. They need to unlock it. They need to straighten it out. They need to put updated information.
Ah, I see. Okay, so they need to just,
Maintenance.
yeah, maintenance. Can't find my words. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right, so if we could maybe contact Shelley and just let her know if they could get that updated.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. I'll get in
Yep.
contact with them.
Okay,
and-
and then we were
Yeah, of
also, I remember trying to find out about gate service or the ability to have some gating at the park. I know that there was, some concern about vandalism and damage that was happening, probably late at night.
Sure.
And like I said, I remember in my days with the LAPD, we used to actually do gate service at Elysian Park, which is where our police academy and our canines were held. So we used to go in and do a gate service. So I didn't know if that was something that Metro could provide or not. Like I said, gate service is kind of an unusual request of your law
Sure.
enforcement agency.
Yeah,
But-
I'll look into it and see, and coordinate with the agencies.
Yeah, because I don't think they have we discussed it with their maintenance guy,
Okay.
but he's not there at 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Gotcha. Sure.
All right. Receive a report from Haley Mayo, University of Nevada Cooperative Extension regarding status of programs and upcoming activities. There you are. I didn't see you. I was like, is she here?
I was hiding.
That's okay.
Haley Mayo, Nevada Extension. I will start with the Healthy Aging team in Las Vegas sent me some nice little newsletters. So if anybody's interested in Healthy Living While Aging newsletter, I have some located at the library. I also brought some on the back table. And on the back, they have a little free class schedule for virtual classes held through Extension. So you can register and log in through, I believe they do them through Zoom, and they have one called Seniors Eating Well and another one called Bingo Size, which is like bingo exercise. I've heard really great things. So they're virtual classes, so you won't be seeing my face on there, but you'll be seeing our lovely team up in the Las Vegas office. Another thing is that next week we'll be hosting a STEM summer mini camp. We didn't want the kids to be left out this year since state is not having a full-blown camp up at Lake Tahoe again since COVID last year and the restrictions weren't lifted soon enough to take kids up to Tahoe. So this year I'm hosting just a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, little 1-hour camp in the afternoon at the library. And all of the STEM activities are going to be based around lemons. So thought that would be kind of fun. And lastly, we just got a sign for the community garden. So there's a nice big, like 6-foot vinyl sign on the fence around the community garden. So now when people see it, they know what it is. And if anybody has any questions.
Any questions? No? No. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
And receive a report from Jackie Whalen on Laughlin Chamber of Commerce regarding current and upcoming business activities in Laughlin. And then she'll also give us a report representing the Laughlin Tourism Commission regarding current and upcoming events in our community.
Good afternoon.
They're
Jackie
always
Wallin,
busy.
Wallin, Laughlin Chamber of Commerce President and CEO. The first item on my report today is about the Laughlin Chamber of Commerce Subcommittee for the Colorado River Flow. We're having a multi-state coalition moratorium and funding press release on the 15th, which is this Thursday, 9 o'clock at Hoover Dam. We brought together the 3 states to actually oppose Lake Powell pipeline again because their use of water per capita is out of control. Their conservation measures are a little undesirable, and we want to get up there and talk about it. What we want are 5 major points: a moratorium on dangerous projects in Colorado River dependent communities, manage future development based on sustainable identified water resources, a new water management regime that fixes all the flaws in the 2019 drought contingency plan and the 2007 interim guidelines and recognizes that there will be less water in the Colorado River Basin for the future. Respect for agricultural communities that provide 2/3 of the nation's winter produce and other businesses that are river dependent. And finally, acknowledgement that the working class families will pay for costly pipeline and diversion projects that are unnecessary and wasteful to everyone. That's the grounds we're standing on this Thursday. All major press will be there, so I'm sure it will be reported internationally, but we have to make a stand, and our river committee through the chamber is going to participate. And we have visuals, very emotional visuals of what life can be with or without water going through our basin. And we have the BOR with us. We have Nevada Division of Wildlife on our side. We have a lot of people that are working with us. And I'm really proud to be a part of this coalition. And we'll give you an update after that's done. Chef's Food Fest, if you didn't know, it was canceled, not because of COVID restrictions, but because we don't have any qualified staff to put on an event like that, no matter what the venue is. So that will go on again next year. Community Achievement Awards has a new date. It's November 13th. The venue will be determined. We didn't get the phone call today on the venue that we want, so I don't want to announce it until we do. It will be virtual and live streamed like it was last year. Based on the lack of staffing in the tri-state, we can't expect anyone to do that. It'll also help those who sponsor this event regularly. It will cut the sponsorship for each category in half. You can nominate anybody in the 13 categories. I did put writable ones back there, paper copies for nominations, but you can go to laughlinchamber.com and go to the events section under Community Achievement Awards and push the nomination button. It brings you up a writable document, so you can actually do your nomination online, and it comes right to my email. We are continuing ribbon cuttings and mixers when they're requested. Most people are not requesting them right now. They want to wait a little while, get their businesses open, make sure that they're sustainable businesses, and then have a party later. So those are ongoing, but we have had some joint mixers and some joint ribbon cuttings with Bullhead City, and it's been quite nice to see everybody. Our networking, early morning networking educational opportunities are going to start again in August. The last Friday of August will be our first one on Zoom. And this one is going to be dedicated to all the things that I learned and I can share with small businesses, existing or new investors, even large businesses, on resources that are available through county, state, regional, and national resources that are available for them, whether it be financial or document or some kind of experience training. So the first one will all be about post-pandemic information that we're not necessarily sending out in the Friday newsletter anymore. The Friday newsletter that you guys were used to getting is now inside the Wednesday newsletter, and it's a link. So instead of me sending out an email every Friday for 65 weeks for the COVID updates by state, we now just put you guys in a hyperlink in the Wednesday newsletter that comes out every Wednesday. So it's still there, we're still updating it, we just don't want to fill your inbox with any information that you may not need at this point. The volunteers in partnership are on a recruitment program right now. We have them being requested for ushers and ticket scanners for the LEC for all the upcoming concerts, because again, we don't have qualified staff. So if anyone's interested in being an airport ambassador, helping with the events, helping other nonprofits in the area, or being an usher or ticket scanner at a concert where you can hear it for free but not necessarily watch all of it, all they have to do is come by the chamber or call and ask for an application. It does require someone to be 18 years of older or older, and they have to go through a VeriScreen background check. The volunteers are also still working on the throw in the towel for someone in need. We have collected gently used towels and bedding, sheets and pillowcases and all kinds of stuff for the Catholic Charities homeless shelter. And we continue to people to just drop off, open up their trunks, and give us their gently used towels. I found it as an excuse to get rid of my towels and buy new ones. So it was kind of encouraging. You hang on to towels for way too long. So if you have any, you still have this week. Anytime you drop them off, I'll make sure that they get to the shelter. A membership, we originally had 305. I have to correct this and say it's down to 289. We just did a nice clean of accounts receivable, did write-offs for the year. We carried a lot of our members for a full year during the pandemic. Now it's at the point where it's going to financially hurt us to continue to give services without payment. So we tried to put them on payment plans and it didn't work. So we had to do some really stressful thinking, and it brought us down from 305 to 289, and already in the last week, we've gone 3 more up. So I'm sorry for that typo. I didn't change it very well. We opened up the fishing license. We can now do fishing licenses out of our office for small game and fish tri-state. One-stop shop. We can't do any large game, but we can do small game and fish, and we also have a full-time notary from 8:30 to 4:30 every single day. The multi-agency compliance partnership, our first meeting is this Thursday. And we're going to be hosting everyone from US BOR to Parks and Rec, BLM, all of those people are coming together in one place so we can put submission packets together for any kind of event in any site. So I'm kind of excited. It's our first one. We've been working on it for a while, and all my event partners and promoters are all excited to be able to get more training on how to complete those documents so they can get approved the first time around.
Right. Nice. Very good.
That's my report for Chamber. Don't forget the awards nominations are back there in a stack. I brought plenty of them. LTC is pretty simple. Rockets Over the River was amazing. Based on intercept studies, we were able to predict that there was at least 100,000 or more in here actually viewing it, not streaming, but actually here visiting and watching the fireworks, with resorts being at 100% occupancy. There was great viewing parties and great vessel parties, and they were really pretty. Best in the Desert is September 9th. Best in the Desert again for the Desert Classic is September 23rd. World's Toughest Mudder, which is an international physical obstacle race at the same site, is going to be November 13th through 14th, and then Tough Mudder will be November 20th. Run Laughlin is again scheduled for November 5th, Snore for December 10th, and then our town-wide concerts are coming. I don't know if you've seen the list, but it's pretty impressive. I don't think we have a weekend that's without a concert at this point between Harrah's Rio Vista Amphitheater, the LEC, and the Big Bubble East Center. All of them are packed. There's something every single weekend. The ones that Laughlin Tourism Commission is sponsoring is Toby Keith and Pitbull. Those tickets can be acquired at any one of those 4 websites, and information can be supported. If you go there and look, they will tell you everything. If you go to visitlaughlin.com, it has all of the properties for the whole town.
So the Pitbull is 2022 or
Correct.
2021?
No, it's 2022.
Okay, just a typo because it says 2021. I'm like, did I miss one?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's
Sorry.
all right. That's okay.
Yeah, those are the 2 we've picked so far. Our budget still accommodates for us to have another one before the fiscal year ends, but we don't know what that's going to be yet. It could be one that's already scheduled. We just haven't voted on it yet.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, I do. Do you have any updates on the request for proposals that would be done for bringing the facility here? Any updates whatsoever?
On the motorsports park?
Yes.
So it's not, I'll give you any updates that I get them, but remember the proposal's not mine. It's Las Vegas
Right.
Events. I just support them in connecting them with the people that they need to talk to, because I have no idea how to build a sports park. So they are working. They have been in contact with Clark County, and they've got some really weird information that they really need to identify one of which is what site can be picked and how much authority the Laughlin Town Advisory Board has on recommending certain approvals for land site, long-term leases, and loans. So that's just something that we all have to discuss. But there are plenty of sites available. We just don't know which one Clark County or private landowners are going to allow us to use. LVE is very active in finding management and finding overall sponsorship for that sports park.
When we approved the funding, I don't know if we did ask them to report back to us, but we didn't do a timeline. So I'm wondering if we might want to make that a quarterly type of thing. Do you think that's reasonable? If you touch base with them, if not, we can from the town manager's office. Just a quarterly update of where they're at, just so we have a progress kind of with that. Okay. Any other questions? Herm?
Jackie, what, if anything, is going on with regard to signage on I-11 and the other highways?
So I submitted my request to NDOT, told them that we were dismayed by the fact that we didn't have any, and I still have not received a response on that letter.
Well, they probably need to be jacked up again,
They probably do.
and probably from this board and the commissioner's office. That's number one. Number two.
Mr. Walker, would you like me to draft a letter to follow the one that I did for your, for the board's review?
That would be fine.
That or Tammy, if we could just draft a letter requesting of NDOT that we have some nomenclature and identification on the roadway coming to Laughlin. It says Boulder City and Searchlight, and then later on you have Needles, but no mention of Laughlin.
Sure, yeah, I can work with Jackie and we can figure out what to do and how to move forward with this.
Something in combination from the town manager's office, county liaison, Commissioner Naft, and
I've gone all the way to the senator, but nothing's come back yet.
Yeah, so.
can always go again.
She'll bring me
That's what I've learned, that you just keep, it's like, Don Quixote, you just keep charging at windmills. Okay, all right. Herm?
Well, generally speaking, when someone comes down from Vegas to talk to us, they have one or two excuses, one of which is the virus has really set us back and we're trying to catch up. And number two, we don't have the money. Well, I don't believe either of them. They have the money, they have $1 million to give to people of questionable judgment in order to stick a needle in them. Where's the $1 million come from if they're broke? So, at any rate, they do need to, these excuses don't carry much momentum and damn little validity.
Not with me either, because I did start a program for a request, a letter writing program to request that the 163, along with some Arizona representatives, and Highway 68 to be changed to the Colorado River Highway. And that's been sorely ignored by the Departments of Transportation also.
The last thing I'd like to address with you is your Thursday conference at Hoover Dam. I know of 2 prior conferences that have been held with committees that have been formed for the purpose of addressing the depletion of water in Lake Mead. And both of those committees fell apart. And I'm familiar with the work product that was done by them, and all of them dealt with the problem, but not with the solution. And I think there are 2 solutions that are very practical that could take care of Lake Mead. It might sound a little inconsistent because I'm absolutely opposed to the Utah push to get a pipeline. But I will tell you that we could use a pipeline if it's properly, if they're properly structured. Number one, we could put a spike in the Sea of Cortez and pipe water up to Lake Mead and power the lifts, which would be necessary, with solar power. So we have no power expense in order to deliver this water to where it needs to be. That's one suggestion. The other suggestion involves also a pipeline. And we could pipe into the Missouri or the Mississippi River, or both of them, or beneath the confluence, and run a pipeline across to Lake Mead. It would cost money, but I would point out to the people involved, if the oil industry can justify building a pipeline from Canada to the east coast of the United States, and feel that it's profitable, we can erect and build and construct a pipeline from either the confluence or the rivers themselves into Lake Mead and deliver water. There's an abundance of water in either of those three places. And those options should be explored Thursday. I
Yes.
have nothing further.
There are plenty of coalitions that are going to be there to talk about it, but I think the number one point we're trying to make is some states need to catch up to the conservation attempts that the rest of us are making and not use as much water per capita as they do, because it's unconscionable, number one. Number two, I think that we need to reassess the usage of water for irrigation all the way downstream and make sure that it's being used and not wasted, and that it's not being grabbed by southern counties and states. Yes.
Well, conservation has always been in the forefront, and has been and is now and will be in the future, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But conservation doesn't put any water back in Lake Mead.
Yeah, what you're saying is we need a better solution than just conservation. And I'm just curious, Herm, because I know you've been in this community a really long time and worked with Tom Griffin and had a lot of historical data. Was there ever any studies or anything done on the pipelines and stuff like that? Those were just
familiar with.
proposed solutions. Do you have any info on those, on what those were? Okay, because I was thinking that might be something to mention or bring up before the water flow committee that you have the meeting coming in. Something at least to look at.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And just one thing, Jackie, I was going to ask, if you have sent out billing, so you've already sent out billing for the chamber memberships?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would you,
We send it out every month.
okay, would you check for me, because I'm not getting any? So I just changed addresses to my new house, so
Oh.
maybe something there. If not, I'll just stop by and pick up a copy.
I'll give you.
And my
You'll give me yours, okay.
My final comment tonight is a plea to the Laughlin Town Advisory Board to look serious at water safety ordinances for the town of Laughlin. We lost another person on the river 2 weekends ago, and it seems to be that some of the leasing businesses that are leasing out are not doing an appropriate job of training those who are operating those vessels. And if they are, we still have too much traffic, and it's getting unacceptable now to lose that many lives, innocent lives, because either the river's too crowded or because people are inexperienced at what they do.
I think some of at least when we visited with this before, some of the leasing companies were outside of Clark County's jurisdiction and business license jurisdiction. In other words, they were in the Bullhead City area, and they were launching and stuff on the
They
Laughlin
operate
side.
on this side. You have
Correct.
them at several of the casinos. It doesn't matter where their business license is, it's where they operate. And I'd like to present you with the model that Bullhead City is using, and it's working very well. It's just not enforced, and I know we don't have enforcement here, but we have to start somewhere.
It's not enforced on the Bullhead side or either side.
It is enforced on the other side, but how much can you enforce with the staff that they have?
I see.
You have to be able to catch them at what they're doing, and there's a lot of traffic on the weekends.
I see.
It's crazy. But yeah, we do need a water safety ordinance for at least we can say that we've done something about the Laughlin side.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I can't take any public comments yet till I get through this, but you're welcome to speak at the public comment section. And receive a report from Tanya Brown-Worth, Laughlin Library. She's not with us today, but she did send a report from me, and here are her updates from our local branch. The branch is now open with full services on 100% occupancy. Masks are still required for those not fully vaccinated. I assume that's working off of the honor system, as all Clark County locations are. Copiers, scanners, printing, and fax services are available for a small fee, and computer access is free. It only costs 10 cents to print. Study rooms and meeting rooms are available 7 days a week, and the One Stop Career Center is open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. They have a career coach that's available on Thursdays and Fridays by appointment only. The library now circulates toys to children and families. Oh, that's nice. Toys can be checked out for 3 weeks with your free library card. Device advice is now available on select Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Just bring your phone, tablet, or laptop, and their staff will help you troubleshoot or explain features. They must have like a 10-year-old to help. Yeah, they know more. We can also show you how to download ebooks and e-audiobooks. They have the Alzheimer's Association Support Group is back, meeting regularly. On their next meeting is Thursday the 15th, and they'll start at 10:30 a.m. They offer education and support to anyone affected by Alzheimer's, and they'll start meeting monthly. They had been there for years. We'll be having a book sale on Friday the 30th. This is their biggest sale of the year. They'll be selling books, magazines, movies, and children's items for pennies on the dollar. If you're a bargain hunter, put the book sale on your calendar. It opens on the 30th at 10 a.m. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or stop by. The phone number for the library is 702-507-4060. And I believe the library is one of our cooling stations. I know those have become important.
No, the library's not.
No, the library's not.
No, it isn't.
Okay, okay. Is it possible to, I know you send me the list, could we print that and have that back there? I know I've had a couple people ask me what the cooling stations are. So receive a report from Laughlin School System regarding status of programs and upcoming activities? No? Okay. I didn't know if Ashlyn was going to brief us. I know she did on the grant, but that's okay. Okay, so we don't have anyone here for that. And this is moving on to item 12, announcements of upcoming neighborhood meetings and county or community meetings and events for discussion only. Mr. Markowitz? No.
No, just the 2 events we have tomorrow.
You had
that
it.
we started, so.
Okay, and then your, information before as well.
Sure.
That you gave us. And then, is Commissioner Knapp still having the meetings and stuff that he has, the weekly coffee with?
The copy of the commissioner. So he's looking to start those back up again now that a lot of the COVID
Yeah, that's what I
restrictions
was
have been raised.
wondering.
But we do have his newsletters in the back as well, his new July one. So
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
let us know if he starts that again. I thought he
course.
got pretty good input from the community on those.
yes, no, he really enjoys those, and we get a lot of great community feedback in those settings.
Okay, and planning and zoning, we have no items. General business, we have no items. So I'll move forward to item number 8, which is comments by the general public. And this is a period devoted to comments by the general public about matters relevant to the board's jurisdiction. No vote may be taken on a matter not listed on the posted agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. And please step up to the speaker's podium if applicable. State your name and address and spell your last name for the record. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of presentation, this will be done by the chairperson or board by majority vote. And let me just preface this time period. At the last meeting, typically over the years, I would say probably the last 5 years, this section, it's not been a section where this board can engage in conversations. We did do an exception because of the large community output or turnout. I don't know, that's not a good word, but anyways, the large community turnout, to me, I think of cattle and stuff, but anyways, the large community turnout that we had regarding the rental situation. And we definitely wanted to hear, and we knew, that was coming because we had seen comments on, social media and stuff. So we knew that was coming before us. But typically, this is not a period that we engage in back and forth and conversations. We're technically, legally not even allowed to do that. We did make some exceptions the last time, as far as our bylaws.
And then Chair Oaks, I'd also say, like, this is a good opportunity where the community can bring stuff up and we can bring it to a future agenda. So I know, for example, Jackie just brought up the water safety.
Yeah.
That would be a great example of being able to bring that up during public comment, because there might be a lot of people that aren't in the room that would want to come and speak. So we really do it to make sure that the whole community is heard, and it might seem that the board is not communicating back with you, but they're just bringing everything in because they unfortunately can't provide solutions there, but we're able to really find the right resources and then have it at a future meeting. So please keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, and I think if we try to find solutions to something that we're just hit with, we don't have, number one, the players that can take any action and provide any results in the room for you. And we aren't going to be speaking educated, because anytime certain events come before us, I think the majority of all of us go forward and try and educate ourselves on what's going on in the community and find different sources of information. So for us to do a back and forth at this public comment section, it's not really effective, and we don't have the right players in the room to get some results. So I don't want you to think that we will ignore them. Obviously, we didn't, where the situation with Crown Point came up, and we won't ever going forward, but I think the appropriate response is to take things from here, put them on an agenda item, so we have time to notify the powers that be and the individuals that would be able to have an effect on the situation and have them before us, so that they are there to answer questions, because we may not know everything that and not be able to solve it in this forum.
Yep.
Okay, all right, please, with that, we'll take public comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, Jordan Ross, Laughlin Constable. Just a brief addendum to what Madam President from the Chamber had to say regarding marine safety, information that the board and the town hall can pass on to the appropriate levels. The township board, of course, cannot adopt ordinances. However, you could make a recommendation to the county to adopt a countywide marine safety ordinance. The issue that Jackie brought up about there not being anyone available for enforcement, the county has adopted ordinances such as parking ordinances that have an assessment fee if the citation is issued by a constable or his deputy. And that allows it essentially the enforcement to be self-funding and would not require any paid county staff.
So you're expanding your job description?
Well, it
Yeah.
won't be. It'd be expanding the job description of the people who work for me.
Other duties as ascribed,
Right.
yeah?
But this is a way of funding this type of citation enforcement without requiring any county budget. So that's something that can be thrown into the hopper as a possibility. It already exists in the county ordinance for Title 14, which is the parking violations.
And precedent is established, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct. All right, that was it. Thank
That's
you.
great to know. All right. And that might be something, we'll bring to discussion on the board, but that might be something that we want to agendize. Okay? Okay. Please.
How you
state-
doing? My name is Bruce Henry. Last name is Henry. I reside at 2004 Mesquite Lane, number 201. And this kind of goes along with some of the stuff that Jordan was talking about. I would like to speak in regards to a community safety problem on our river. As you know, on July 4th, we lost one of our visitors in an accident. And what has happened as a result of that, there's been a joint community, if I go over 3 minutes, I would please you indulge me, because I think this is very important to bring up here, that people are upset at what's going on in the river and these accidents. And so what has happened as you know, as a county board, whether you're federal, state, national, whatever, the number one priority of any government entity is the safety of our citizens and the people who visit us here. That's why this is of vital importance. And I noticed when you guys ran for office, you mentioned us being one community. And I can understand that feeling. In some specifics, we're separate. But in this instance, when it comes to the Colorado River, well, yes, we are one community. And as I mentioned, that accident that took place, and as a result of that, with interaction with social media, I was able to start up a website, and the name of it is, got it here, No More Death on the Colorado River. And as of this morning, we have over 700 members on this website. And we're going to be visiting also Bullhead City a couple times because the river is on both sides. And I got some, Arizona has different laws, Nevada has different laws, California, which includes Needles, has different laws when it comes to the rentals, the boaters, and everything. So we have a interdepartmental conglomerate here with different rules. And the enforcement is one of the situations we're going to look at, and we're really going to try to see if we can get some more of that. And I know as a result of that, we might get a little pushback from the rental companies, but I don't know about you guys, but no amount of dollars is worth a lice on that river. I feel that it's safe. That's our job, to make sure our people are safe. So, so what I would like to ask of the board here, if we could have some kind of community forum in the future and have these entities, including Nevada Wildlife and maybe Metro and anybody else here, to give some information, people, so we can.
Mr. Henry, I do believe we're going to go ahead and get this agendized, and I think we'll encompass and bring in those agencies. We already heard from our constable that, you know, it's possible that it could be a self-funding thing for him and within his department. So I think just hearing, because we've heard it from you, we've heard it from the chamber, and of course we saw it on social media. So I do believe this will be an agenda item going forward, and I think we'll contact and bring those individuals into this public forum so that we can, you know, go to work on that and hopefully have a solution for the process. And I appreciate you bringing that, you know, bringing this up to us as well from the, you know, the constituency base. But I think let's get it agendized. Let's bring these agencies together and see if we can't come up with a solution.
Could I also make a suggestion? And I have already contacted our assembly person on this side and anybody else here in regards to that. And the reason why I took under this task is because I have a 16-year-old grandnephew who lives in Minnesota, and I found out through my sister, he's not obeying the laws in the state of Minnesota when it comes to use of a personal watercraft. And I'll let his niece, you think I'm tough, you've not met my niece yet, and take care of that, but I just cannot let go of this. We got to do something.
No, and I appreciate it. I definitely do. Thank you for your time, Mr. Henry. Okay. And while we're on that subject, is there anyone else that cares to speak about that? If not, I'll move forward to, I have another input here from Scotty McClure. Is he with us? Oh, there you are, sir. Scotty McClure would like to discuss our VA clinic elevator. Several of us are very familiar with it. Hello, Mr. McClure.
Well, I'm back, and I'm still bitching, but I'm bitching about this elevator over there at the VA. And I've met with Tammy on this, and she's helped me out. Thank you, Tammy. And she's going to give me the addresses of the ADA people. Anyway, let me read. For months, about 2 months ago, this notice appeared on right by the button on the elevator. This note, this is my handwritten notice. I didn't tear that one off, okay? So don't you come and get me. VA patients, please do not use the elevator for your own safety. Don't use the elevator. Now, I'm in a wheelchair, being pushed by an aide. How in the hell am I supposed to get to the second floor? For assistance, please call 702-298-1100. Now, this 1100 number is a phone tree that sends you to the main office where 84,000 of us go up on Lamb. It's a phone tree. You never talk to a person. In fact, you leave a message, hey, I'm stuck down here with no elevator. I can't get up. Now, apparently, I go ahead and use the elevator. It works with this clown. Now, the problem is the elevator's on this side. Somebody owns this building. Over here, where the VA, which he's another different owner in the same complex. So this guy's getting 20 grand for the VA. Now, they signed a contract 5 or 6 years ago that they would provide us with an elevator. This guy got real tricky. I don't know who he is. I hope he's not one of you guys that's sitting on there. But, and if I go taking it down, I'm going to get thrown out of the VA, and I'm not willing to do that. So I came over here to see Tammy, and I wanted to go to code enforcement. That's another phone tree number. It's up on 2911 East Sunset. Well, that Sunset is a Sunset Park. You ever driven Sunset Road there in Las Vegas? Russell Road, down by the airport and Eastern. Well, I never did find it, so I gave up. So I came back to see Tammy. So she in the meantime had gotten the right people, the ADA people.
ADA would be the place.
And I didn't know where to go, so she's going to give me the addresses, because they're not going to, because it does work. It's this sign if I'm a new nurse and I'm pushing somebody that hasn't ever been there, and I see that sign pushing a World War II veteran in a wheelchair, she's not going to endanger his life. She's going to take him home. He's not going to get his doctor or whatever. This is very confusing. It's tricky.
Yeah.
I don't know who this lowlife is, but I'm going to go after him.
Yeah, I believe the one building is owned by the trust. I used to have my offices there. And the other building is owned by the Barbarita family, I believe. But regardless, Tammy sent you the right place. The ADA is the place to go, because they do have legal requirements for access for the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Well, and the smell in there is like a bottle of perfume. I bitched about it.
It doesn't have good ventilation, I'm aware.
You can't do that. I've got COVID like big time. I have 3 different kinds of these things. I can come down the stairs, but I can't go up. That's why, to hell with them, I'm going to use the elevator.
Right. I appreciate it, and we'll follow up with ADA on that.
I'm going to meet with Tammy, and she's going to give me the ADA people. They have refused to do anything because it works. Even though this, I should shut up because I don't want to call these people names. So I won't. I will shut up about that. But you guys are aware. What I'm trying to do here for you guys is to make some kind of deal here. Mr. Ross isn't in charge of that over there. I didn't want to go to him. What you need to do is have a code where you can go to fill out a form with Tammy here, and it can get shoved to Michael Naft or whatever.
Or you mean code enforcement?
You need to have a code enforcement, some kind of paperwork where I could have filled it out here instead of going up there. And then she would have shuffled my paperwork.
Okay. All right, we'll take that
you guys
under.
get a code, because you sent me to Wonderland. I don't know.
Well, Mr. McClure, we'll look at that as far as if there is an outreach that we
get
can do
something
locally with code enforcement.
Yeah, this is not Mr.
But I
Ross.
think channeling through the town manager's office would be the best way to do
and
it.
Tammy's done an
So-
excellent job with helping with this issue,
right.
and
Okay.
we'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
All right, thank you, Mr. McClure, for letting us know.
I don't like Mr. Naff, so I ain't going to his office
you can
ever,
get
because I get
stuck
thrown in the clink up there.
Kathleen?
Well, Mr. McClure, thank you for letting us
All
know.
right, yeah, just try and get a code enforcement
Nope.
kind of thing.
Sure.
going.
I appreciate it.
Mr. Ross is proud.
I appreciate it. Thank you for letting us know. Hello, Mr. Beck.
It is now.
So I guess Crown Point isn't the only problem in Laughlin. Apparently we got off to the
Please state your name and address for the record, please.
apparently we got off to the wrong start last month. So I'm still Bradley Beck.
Name and address for the record, please, Mr. Beck.
I'm still Bradley Beck, B-E-C-K, and I still live at Crown Point, despite their best efforts to get rid of me. Today, I only have a couple things. I'll be real quick. One of them has already been dealt with, which is the sign that you guys were talking about. The second one is, a few months ago, a lady came in here and she wanted a ramp put in. And I'd like to just make sure that you guys are making some progress in getting her that ramp for her dead husband. And then the third thing is, last month you guys mentioned that in order for Crown Point to actually charge an increase on our rent, that they should have amenities which, should reflect the increase in rent. So I, again, also want you to apply pressure to Crown Point to ensure that those amenities are provided for the residents. Because if we were a city, that's one thing the mayor could do. And it's part of his job. And if you really need examples, I can give you tons from mayors all over the United States. But I think that that is one thing that this board could possibly do. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. Okay. All right. Any more questions? Oh, okay. And we have a board member that's now going to become a person of public.
Pamela Walker, Walker, address is on file. I would like to just give the community some information. Roger Reimer, who is the former VFW commander here in Laughlin, also ex-commander of the American Legion, he had a stroke. He is starting to recover. If you can visit him, it would really boost his spirits. He is now housed at Valley View Hospital in Fort Mojave. I don't know his room because they just moved him today. But he is progressing, and so if you can take a chance to go visit him, even if just for a few minutes, the man has given so much to this community. I dare say there's probably not a child who lives in Laughlin that does not know him. All the teachers. So he's a very big community supporter. We need to come out and support him. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. I'm glad he's recovering. So,
Me too.
yeah. Kathleen, did you have anything? Nope. Okay. All right. With that being said, is there anyone else for public comment? Please. State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Bronwyn McKelvey, 3665 Needles Highway, Crown Point, our favorite place. Just wanted to give a little bit of an update. Things aren't any better. They are, in my opinion, a little bit worse, and I'm going to come tomorrow and talk to the lawyers because I think I've found a legal grounds of something I might be able to get them with, because it is still not the same. We've got people coming in at the beginning of the month being charged $1,200 for an apartment, that exact same apartment, because they got out of the lease within 3 days and left and ran and said, nope, I'm not living here. Same apartment's been rented as of yesterday for $900, the exact same apartment. So there's something going on, whether it's racially motivated, whether it's just pick and choose, but they're still calling it market value. It changed in 2 weeks from the first of the month to the middle of the month. But certain things, since our last meeting, Kathleen and I went through the whole property the very next day and she took tons of pictures and notes. Certain things have been fixed, like the little parking stops, they've fixed it. We have a nice, pretty new flower bed out front. That's our amenities. Nothing else has changed. So there again, we still need the help. Our help is not, but a little update on Stephen Wilhite, our little man we were all worried about. He does have at least temporary housing there on property with another resident that was almost kicked out also. They were able to get it and combine incomes and whatnot. It's a temporary situation, but it's better than what we had.
Right.
So that's all.
Appreciate the update.
And I want to say thanks for the help we have gotten so far. Nobody else has said thank you. I'm going to say thank you because the lawyers and what we had a couple weeks ago weren't able to help everybody, but there's a few people that they've been able to, I think, get some information to and try to help one couple in particular that was kind of done wrong in their new lease. They're going with the lawyers and whatnot. I think they're working on helping them, but it gives us something. And if programs like that can keep coming, somebody's going to get some kind of help somewhere.
Great.
So I want to thank y'all.
Yeah, and I think having the legal resources here on a regular basis will help negate some of that going forward. Okay, all right. Okay, is there any other comments or questions from the public? Okay, all right. We thank you all for your time today, and with that, our next meeting date is August 10th of 2021, and I'll go ahead and entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you.